The ultimate test of Sri Shirdi Sai Baba. In the most well-known Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, it says, the true renunciate and the true yogi are those who perform dutiful actions without desiring their fruits, not those who, eschewing self-offering, act with ego motivation, nor those who, in the name of renunciation, eschew action. Such is the life of Sai Baba of Shirdi, also known as Shirdi Sai Baba, who was a spiritual master and was identified as a saint and a fakir. He was revered by both his Hindu and Muslim devotees during as well as after his lifetime. Hello friends, welcome to my channel, All Things Spiritual. In this video, we will take a look into a very important incident in Sai Baba's life that has now sprung up so many places of worship in his name and has very large following not only in India but in several parts of the world. Sai Baba temple alone in Shirdi, where he returned to in 1858, is visited by 100,000 pilgrims each year. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. According to the accounts from his life, he preached the importance of realization of the self and criticized love towards perishable things. His teachings concentrate on moral code of love, forgiveness, helping others, charity, contentment, inner peace and devotion to God and Guru. He stressed the importance of surrender to the true Satguru, who, having trod the path of divine consciousness, will lead the disciple through the jungle of spiritual training. Sai Baba also condemned distinction based on religion and caste. It remains unclear if he was a Muslim or a Hindu. This, however, was of no consequence to Sai Baba. His teachings combined elements of Hinduism and Islam. He gave the Hindu name Dwarkamai to the mosque which he lived in, practiced both Hindu and Muslim rituals, taught using words and figures that drew from both traditions, and took Samadhi in Shirdi. One of his well-known epigrams, Allah Malik, God is King, and Sabka Malik Ek, everyone's master is one, is associated with both Hinduism and Islam. He is also known to have said, Allah Tera Bhala Karega, which means God will benefit you. Selfishness and its predecessor, doubt, are the main obstacles in the way of a devotee to achieve his goal of self-realization. The individual always doubts his Guru, as the Guru is far more accomplished than he or she is. And why does the Guru has this, or why do I not have it, is the basic question troubling the disciple's mind. If for a change he does get what he needs or desires, he starts to believe in his Guru, but that belief is only based on the objective to be met, and his belief on his Guru is situated on those objectivized parameters. In case the objectives are met, the Guru gets a good appraisal, else he is ready to fire his Guru and go his separate ways. An important encounter that I discussed in my earlier video on Bhishma's crucial question to Krishna. Please check it out to further your understanding on the subject. So unlike your worldly objectives and careers, where we enjoy or regret our appraisals and promotions or stagnations, the path to spirituality is rather very tricky one, as any worldly knowledge based on objects would end up being more of an hindrance instead of being progressive towards it. And this hindrance causes the devotee to have more doubts in his belief of himself and of God. These doubts are mainly parts of the test that God expects us to excel at, which is part of today's story of Sai Baba. The story would blow away your mind as to what kind of a yogi Sai Baba was, and such a level could never have been attained by any normal individual. If you like the content, please don't forget to share and subscribe to the channel. God tests us on our devotion by setting us up through situations to check if our minds are perturbed by certain situations or not. These tests are generally based on karma, but for saints, the levels of tests are far more arduous, as you will find out, and there is no room for emotion, ego to be there to when these tests are carried out. In the period when Sai Baba was in the jungle, during his 18th or 19th year, he did intense meditation and devotion, and he didn't have access to any kind of regular food, as he was all alone and he didn't have any anyone to prepare his meals. Hence, he used to live on fruits of trees for the time period he spent in the jungle. Due to this, he got used to this regimen and he had not seen or eaten any regular meals for years. An important point to note is that before testing his disciple, God also prepares his disciple for the test as well. In this case, Sai Baba was far ahead of the rest of the yogis also, so his tests would be far more stringent. The meditations that Sai Baba used to do were simply stunning. He used to have conversations with formless God directly in his meditations. Sai Baba wasn't very much educated but was far ahead of most humans on earth in his spiritual knowledge. So one day in his meditations, God informed him that he needs to have lunch. So Sai Baba said, "Who is going to get me food out here in this jungle?" God replied, "Don't worry about that. I'll direct you where to go. There is a Shiva temple in the jungle. Go and sit there. There will come a person who would offer you food. This person would prepare food specifically for you." Sai Baba told God, "I have lost all interest in food by now, but I will still obey you and wait for the person that would be getting me lunch." Baba was fully surrendered and God's wish would be a command to Baba. And on that day specifically, he felt his hunger was uncontrollable. Such are the tests of God. So God had to invoke hunger into Baba in order to test Baba. Else, he wouldn't have ever been able to test him at all. Another note, Baba is unified with God consciousness, so there cannot be a split moment when Baba would have any worldly thoughts. So on that day, his meditation was really good as usual, but his hunger was really unstoppable. So he went to the temple as per God's instruction and bowed down to the Shivalinga, and it was an old dilapidated temple in the ruins of the jungle. He went into the temple to check out if anyone was around, and then he walked out and appeared a man in the jungle, and he had with him sweet save or vermicelli. Baba was hungry by this time, and the man said to Baba, "I have been asked to give you this." And Baba said, "Since it has been asked to be provided to me, this is the blessing bestowed upon me by Allah, but you can keep the food." The man told him that it's been asked of me to give the food to you and leave. Any utensils that remain, I would come back later and collect them tomorrow. Baba said okay, and he took the food and kept the plate of food down and offered the food first to God and said, "Before eating this food, I would offer this to you, O God, as you have sent this food to me, and I would hope you would have the food that I offer to you. This will bring me the most satisfaction, that you could have the food that I offered to you. The only reason that I am here in this world is due to you." And saying that, he lifted his plate and followed a practice that he had done that only God had taught him. Once he completed his practice, he kept his plate down, and then when he was about to start eating his food, appeared an old man in front of him, and the old man said, "I am really hungry. Could you offer me some food?" And Baba told him, "Come, let's have the food together in the plate that I have." The old man retorted and he said, "I have only one rule though. I don't share the plate when I eat my food." So Baba agreed and said, "Okay, you can have the food." And even though hunger was bothering him so much, he said without even flinching that the old man could have it. The old man ate every single morsel on the plate and didn't leave a single bit for Baba. And then he said to Baba, "Please wash the plate." Baba went to the place where there was flowing water close to the temple and washed the plate, and came back, folded his hands and gestured a namaste to the guest. And when he put his head to his feet, lifted up his head, the old man had disappeared in the thin of the air in that split of a second. It was God himself that had come to visit him. So this is the kind of test God assesses of saints. There wasn't even a morsel left in his plate. Such kind of gruesome tests are assessed. Baba wasn't moved by this at all. Very peaceful within, he sat again to meditate and then started conversing again with God. And then God mentioned to Baba, "You go to the left now, and there will be a woman with mangoes. She would give those mangoes to you." So he told God, "If it's your wish, I would have those mangoes. But in this jungle, I just wonder where would those mangoes come from?" So saying that, Baba bowed down to the Shiva Linga and started walking as per the directions of God. A few moments later, he saw a lady standing in the jungle. She had a basket, and in that basket were 4 mangoes. The lady told Baba, "It's been asked of me to give these mangoes to you." Baba told the lady, "I won't eat all of those mangoes that you offer me. You would have to share some and I would have a portion of this. Give me 1 and you can keep 3. The lady told him that she's been asked to give all the 4 and she can't keep any one of those mangoes. Baba told the lady again, "I won't feel satisfied that when I take this, and I will feel bad that I didn't offer any one of those mangoes to you." She said it's not possible and left. With the 4 mangoes, he watched the trees and he came across a big tree and sat below the trees and dusted off his hands and then joined his hands together, and then he saw a Brahmin standing right in front of him, and the Brahmin called the 3 of his comrades and said, "Come, come." And the 4 Brahmins that were highly qualified saints that God had sent Baba's way, who were attained yogis, said to Baba that we are very hungry. We have been searching for someone who could offer us food, and good that we found you now. Baba gave those mangoes to each one of them and prostrated to them. Baba told them to have those mangoes with love. The Brahmins blessed him and left eating those mangoes. Baba came back to the tree that he used to pray at regularly and started meditating again. It was his favorite tree. He sat for meditation again and God appeared in his vision and he said, "I'm sorry you weren't able to have the food that I sent forth across to you. But this time I'm going to send you some rice pudding or kheer, and only that would you be able to have. So go back to the temple and you would come across a Brahmin and he would be able to give that to you." So Baba walked back to the temple and prostrated to the Shiva Linga, and then there was a man with a wrapped up shawl, and he saw him and told him, "I have been asked to give you this rice pudding, but you look like you are a Muslim." As Sai Baba's complexion didn't match the wheatish complexion of the people of Shirdi, he was very fair and looked more like an Afghani due to his shining eyes and his beard. So the Brahmin told him, "You seem to be like a saint. I don't mind if you are a Muslim or not. Here, please take this kheer," and he handed it over to Baba. Then Baba said, "Could you please take it too, as we can share it, and I don't feel like eating it all by myself." By this time, the whole day had passed for Baba without food, and it was already late evening and the sun had already gone down. Baba was very hungry by this time, but still he was very calm and collected. The Brahmin told him, "Today I am fasting, as it is Ekadashi. It's a day on which fasts are observed on a certain moon phase." As Baba had been in the jungle for long, he didn't know whether it was Ekadashi today or not. So the Brahmin told him that I have to fast anyway, so you have this, and he gave it to Baba and left. So Baba prostrated to the food, and when he looked up, there was another Brahmin standing in front of him. This was a force of nature of God that had been sent down to earth. The Brahmin told him, "I have been hungry all day." So Baba, in his calm and peaceful demeanor, took the kheer and kept it in the Brahmin's hands. The Brahmin turned into a god form as Baba kept the kheer in his hands. Now, it is important to note what the god form Brahmin said to Baba. He said, "Due to your sacrifice, you will be known all over the world and you will be known for ages. There will be temples built in your name and you would have millions of devotees all over the world as time goes by. The love for you will grow beyond the horizon and the name of your flame will be glorious as the ages go by. The sacrifice that you did can happen only through devotion. As for a human being, hunger cannot be borne or held up. You have no feelings despite the hunger that you are facing, and you will have millions and millions falling to your feet." So you see, there are many Sai Baba temples, and it has been growing as the days have gone by. I ate 3 meals while I made this video. I couldn't spend even a single day without missing a meal. I wonder if I could ever bring myself up to the test that Baba had to face. I guess I would have failed at the very end, and at least I would have had the kheer as the whole day had passed, and the hunger would have had me torn like a mad dog and its chew toy. What about you? Could you get yourself through such austerities? Please do let me know in the comment section below. I will see you in the next video.